abilities that they can play with, but it's not like some disruptor or something that you oftentimes see, or some black hole. It's going to be a little different where these BKBs, if they come online, are going to be an issue. But my biggest issue with ACAT, as always, have they gotten too greedy? And when you play greedy, one thing is very important. The laning stage goes well. And Devil, he's had horrendous laning stages, and it's not really his fault. The team has chosen to sack him, and they haven't really had an out for him. And I'm a little worried for this Nagatu going to laking. You're playing versus Lesh. You're playing versus the Lion. Maybe you can make it happen. I feel like ACAT just has to play better this game than Thunder to win it. And it's always a possibility, though.
Out of all the Darkseers we've seen so far, most of them have been topping net worth thanks to a good laning stage. So maybe Devil is also riding on the high of what the rest of the teams have been able to do. And as we go into game number 1 with the first 10 seconds, you know what time it is. The horn sounds, and we're ready to go for the lower bracket finals. And looking for a potential first blood here. Qhali and Knight both dropping fairly low. The Tiny going to be pulled here into the side of the river, and the Wolves blocking his escape. Qhali will fall, and MJZ from Thunder Awaken is going to take first blood as they force out Prada and Devil back to the lane. And it's going to be a Treant to get the first blood. Not exactly the hugest kill, but still a first one for him.
Depends on what he buys. It can be, because this hero is a strong laner. It looks like he'll pull out another Mango, more regen for the Morphling. Of course, you want Morph to get that first blood. There's like 0% chance Morph could have got that. He didn't even participate. He just kind of got right-clicked a little bit there. And really good play. Got to give a shout-out here to Illic here that he was able to get the Wolves down there and get the body blocks. Being in the right place, right time. And Devil, maybe with Tiny dying level 1, he might find himself in a little bit of curious positioning here. But I don't think you want to chase this if you're Knight. This wave is going to go into your tower.
Yeah, you want to go for the CS here. Knight, at least he's got his 1 melee creep, so he will secure the range. But that's a wave dying right under the tower. Not in the best position indeed. For the Morphling, you don't want to miss out on that early CS, even if you are in XP range.
They did force the TP, though, from Darkseer, so yeah, I guess there's always that.
Ups and downs, pros and cons.
Yeah, we've seen
everywhere.
Devil in the laning stage have some disastrous results, and one of those disastrous results would be if he dies with this no TP, right? So he's got to be a little bit careful here.
They're also denying some of those creeps away from him, making sure this Darkseer is just going to be deprived of CS, hinder his capability of coming back into the game. Also, the top lane matchup with this Lycan versus the Sky and the Naga. How do you feel like this lane is going to be going? Because it usually is like the Lycan just kind of on the receiving end. Naga probably has a bit of an advantage here.
This Naga has a huge advantage. Once you get up to your treads and have this level, even level 3, level 4, it feels like you just really can't do anything as a Lycan anymore against these illusions. You have the Earth Spike that helps a little bit.
That was a close attempt. Slottom's almost going down in mid.
Yeah. But yeah, the level 1 Naga isn't really too scary, right? Because you don't. The illusions have pretty long cooldown. They die pretty easily to spells, but eventually at some point in this stage when he no longer cares. All right, he's gonna bully a little bit.
Yeah, I thought he would actually turn around for the Dragon Slave and just keep on going, but we'll leave him low. You know, just force him out of the lane for the time being, force him to pop those bottle charges.
But you're not threatening his CS too hard here. Like, it's still 11-6 on Slatums here. He's just winning mid lane right now, and Leosaw has used most of his resources to try and bully Slatums out, but I don't think he has done enough right now. But he still has some room for, I wouldn't say recovery, but to try and win this lane. And getting a kill would be a great way to start that, but it looks like he'll probably just back out on Slatums here. I don't know if he walks back or goes and gets the bounty rune, but you know these mid laners, they love... I barely look at mid because most of the time they know what they're doing, and if you sit there and watch, like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. They just like playing life on the edge here.
Yeah. Definitely what they're looking for. And yeah, like the Leshrac just kind of chilling, just vibing.
Yeah, he should be fine.
Kind of the issue that was in that AcatSuki upper bracket matchup was that Leostal wasn't able to make a lot of rotations either with that Shadow Fiend. And then their side lanes were already starting to get ever more in trouble. And meanwhile, that is all happening. The Tiny and the Treant Protector both going to be dropping in the bottom lane, but the cores remain alive. Devil, he's kind of low here, but he's finally getting some CS for himself as this Morphling has got more denies than he has CS accumulated in these first 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Top lane fighting again as well. Maybe they can get the Sky kill. Prada, Fairy Fire, one right click away from dying, and Knight will be able to get this one. So that will be another kill.
Qhali
going for
went over
Awaken.
too. So Qhali going top, though, of course he can always take the gate, so like doing these silent rotations don't hurt as much, but Devil has to go back to base. Morph is going to continue to free farm, and yet another laning stage where Devil isn't finding a way to go toe-to-toe with the enemy carry, just giving complete free farm. Where you look on the other end of the map here, this Lycan, he's doing fine. Well, you know, I say that now, but he might be in trouble.
Yep, and they're going to go on him as they've got the control, they've got the damage. He won't be able to pop his magic stick either for a quick burst heal. That will not be enough for him. A good pick-off going there with Qhali. Perseverance, I guess, or patience
Refill
maybe
mid
in
with
this
the
case.
smoke. This is a smoke play. Can they get
That's
Leo
actually a
style?
good one. They got the stun connecting on Leo style, and he's down. Knight helping out Sladems. And that will be a very important pick-off, but not what Leo style was hoping for, and he definitely does not like the idea of him being tipped in game 1.
He definitely does not, as he tips his former teammate and MJC here. And I've seen Knight do this a couple times now. Just use a smoke play, right? Just TP mid, smoke his mid laner, refill the bottle, and just walk up and kill the enemy mid laner. It's been a pretty cool play that I haven't seen anyone but him do. Very creative, and I love to see it every single time. But yeah, back to my point about the Lycan and the Darkseer. The Lycan, sure, you kill him, but his CS is on par, exactly the same as Naga in a matchup that just isn't good straight up for the Lycan, right? But Darkseer, on the other hand, great. Sure, it's not a great matchup here, but 35 to 20 to 14 and 2. Yet again, Devil is super struggling to make anything happen in these laning stages.
Yeah, even the Treant Protector is going past him, who was the person who got the first blood early on in this game. Now he's being picked up. He's literally just 8 gold behind, going past him.
It's definitely concerning.
Trouble he has. Yeah, he does. And now he's actually going to get slowed up and being hit by the tower. 6 seconds for Adaptive Strike. That's a good avalanche there from Qhali. We'll keep it
That's
at bay.
a good blocks by MJC, actually, to help his creeps go backwards. And what that happens is when you make your creeps go backwards, it makes him go back to Morphling's waiting arms, where he's just going to deny. And this is a... Darkseer does have boots, but no Vanguard quite yet. Not even close, but luckily he does have a healing Lotus, which will help him if he gets in big danger. And maybe this first blood on the Treant Protector, you know, you see his net worth is high. Could be the difference maker, that early boots to chase him around, to bully him. Dota's a game of inches here, and things like first blood can drastically change a lane for one team. And Qhali, he's smoked. I think he wants to try and make a play on the Leshrac here. But Leshrac, he's nowhere to be found. He's just farming, and he has no mana. He's going back to base.
He's just running back to base. Even Prada just chilling in the trees here. They're going to
Another smoke.
But nobody's home. Nobody's here. Knight, he's starting to worry about what's going on. Where are the supports right now?
You have to know something's happening here. Honestly, if they bait Knight here and you get patient to go on him, you TP on Leshrac, that could be a turn.
MJZ, the slow's going to be there. Nice 2-man stun there. Prada getting the slow one too as well. Knight trying to interrupt Qhali, who's coming out from the side. He's going to get followed up by the split earth stun, and this Tiny, he's in huge trouble, and Qhali will lose his life. He's a bit late for the party there, and he will pay for it. Haste rune denied by Prada.
Good deny. They might kill MJC here too, but they don't want to go to the high ground, as they don't have vision up there, so he'll back up. If he had vision, I'm sure he would just toss Laguna and a Dragon Slave and he'd kill him, but without that vision, he has to walk into some very scary darkness there.
And off to a great start, Thunder Awaken, really prepared coming into this series.
Yeah, and Hod is
up. Keep it up.
For the Lycan too. This is an incredibly fast timing. Your Naga was supposed to be bullying this Lycan. This is supposed to be a Naga favored matchup. And of course, if you thought ACAT was greedy, let's be even greedier as Naga has queued up a Midas here. Not even queued up, has committed by buying this Glove of Haste, as there's nothing else that you can make with this item on Naga Siren.
Decisions have been made. Like, we gotta get this Naga up somehow. Or at least, you know, try to stay ahead of everybody else, despite the farming capability of mirror images and riptides popping all over the place. He is definitely going to need a bit of that extra. So going for the Midas, indeed, when your Darkseer is already having a tough time, and they know they have no playmaking capability. So they can only play around Leo style. And Leo style, we know, he also wants to farm. He also wants to get himself on board.
It does indeed here. And I will say Kitaro, this is why I want to see him play around more, because he can be a greedy player. He doesn't have to be, but I think the thing is he's really talented. If you look at the NA leaderboards, Kitaro is ranked 2 in North America right now, only being bypassed by EG's Whisper. And then behind him is even Beast Coast Gym Park. So he's a really good player, as you can see here. But I don't know if he's been given the opportunities to just get the floor. However, speaking of floor,
in trouble. Oh, the Hex just on time from Knight, but he doesn't have the stun, so Qhali going to be able to get the toss. The wall's going to be there, and they've got the Laguna Blade coming in as well. Leo's not going to get the stun onto the Lycan, and MJC's on the other side, and Qhali is just going to get chewed up by the Zoo as they finish off Leo style, and they're going to get a triple for this Lycan as he takes down that Tiny as well. And Darkseer wall didn't seem to do too much.
And what can you do? It's a Lycan, right? It doesn't slow him at all, so he can run through there with his creeps and everything, making things happen. And you're bringing 4 heroes to that fight. Sure, you get the Leshrac, which was a big kill. Don't get me wrong, but this Lycan, man, he got a triple kill off that. He's only a recipe away from just getting his Vlads now, too. This is going to be incredibly fast Overlord timing. And let me tell you, Lina, Skywrath, actually all these heroes, Tiny, Darkseer, they're going to be punished really hard, and especially if you get that Ancient Black Dragon. You have another tool to deal with the Naga illusions.
And now that you saw that Midas being revealed in the lane as well for the Lycan, it's like, guys, he's going for Midas. Let's, you know, push up, increase the tempo a little bit here. And they definitely can do that, because normally the Lycan, he just wants to farm his lane until he's finished off the Helm of the Overlord and then go. Well, AcatSuki thinking about jumping this Morphling here in the bottom lane. But it does have some kind of warning sound going over his head. Like, maybe I should just move away from here. Qhali is going to be TPing into mid. These supports, man, they're so under-leveled as well. Tiny's level 4.
Yeah, and I want to go back to Kitaro real quick and finish my point here about how he's rank 2. He has a Smurf, too. So he's not only taking the number 2 slot in MMR in the region, he's also taking the number 6 slot on his Smurf. This guy is incredibly talented. We'll see what he can do on this Naga here. But it's just like, it's hard to say that, like, being able to farm with a Midas when you're already playing so greedy. Devil's having a bad game. Leo Styles' game is mediocre at best behind every single core here. There's not much you can do.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot. This is not the hero that's gonna, you know, 1v5, basically. The Naga is a good addition to the whole staying alive in fights, sustaining damage, helping the others do damage as well. With the help of that Riptide, -8 armor reduction on any target. That helps out the Lina a lot, but it's not like this hero is just going to kill everyone on its own.
We'll have to see. As the game has slowed down a little bit, I think Naga's doing a respectable job of keeping the net worth even. But if you look at the
you have one job.
I mean, yeah, he's doing a good job of that, right? Like, he has a Midas, he's hitting creeps, he's top net worth in the game. Your big issues come down to how sustainable is this net worth, right? You're piling it all on one hero, and this hero is going to have to play against a line with the Shard. It's going to have to play a Leshrac that is incredibly farmed in this game. It's not going to be one of those situations where Naga can just 1v5 the game with a lot of net worth, or at least it shouldn't be. We'll see what Kitaro can do and when he wants to show up for fights. I don't think he should be showing up until, I mean, at least he has 3 items. Maybe Orchid is going to be essential this game, but then again, do you want to go the Orchid when you're playing versus a Leshrac? Maybe you need that early heart. A lot of decisions that Kitaro has to make, and he's a very capable player. I'm sure he's going to make the, probably, if not the best decision, close to the best decision. But will it be enough? All eyes on, can you make some more space for this Naga? Leo style, Aether Lens is online. Tiny, Blink Dagger, it's getting somewhat close, but not quite here. As Prada, he desperately wants to play with someone with this Skywrath. And they're just going to be smoked up sitting around Leo style. And Leo style was hit by that smoke as well. But is it going to result into anything? Or are they just going to put party hats on and chill? Maybe 14-minute rune, which they are not even going to get here as Wolves are here. They see it. They could deny it. Oh,
won't be able to do that just in time. But one big thing, since this Morphling hasn't been showing up too often, the rework on this Aghanims definitely does. I wouldn't say it hurts this hero, because it used to hurt the opponents much more than it did the hero itself. Because you've got all those stat gains and stat reductions on your opponent's side. Works a little bit different in today's Dota, at least. So maybe the Naga is kind of like, well, I'm okay. I won't be losing all of my agi. I won't be losing a big portion of my damage and my attack speed. Probably won't even... I'm not sure if it does even want to build that Aghanims on this Morphling, but even if you would,
I mean,
not
his
quite
axe
yet.
is so weird now. It's hard to really say if it's worth it or not.
Yeah, and Knight, he's going to pick himself up a Finger of Death stack there. Easy kill on this this Tiny. But I wanted to actually discuss a moment ago that we know Tiny wants to build Blink, but he really means it with those 4 blinks in his quick buys.
I mean, he's making progress towards it. This is not going to be a fast Blink whatsoever, right, for the Tiny, as he's sitting on 8th net worth overall in the game, even being surpassed by the position 5 Treant Protector.
Also the lowest level in the game.
And they feel like they really need this Blink too, right? Because you decided not to get a mid laner that makes rotations in the Lina. So their initiation pretty much just comes from just the fact that you do have the ability to blink in with a Tiny at some point. And you can see he's really prioritizing that. But this is I think he finishes at 14 minutes. Yeah, there's a 14-minute Helm of the Overlord pretty much after this tower. I mean, definitely after this tower. He's going to have drums on top of it. This Lycan, he's looking scary. This is exactly the type of game you want to have with the Lycan. It's a dream timing, honestly. 16-minute drums, HOD. Let's go Roche. Why not? Get an Aegis onto whoever you want here. They don't have to do it right now, but whenever they decide there's a good opening, the game gets a little stale, you're turtling a bit on ACAT, that is an option always open to them, as Morphling will come stop by here, and looks like the time is now.
Yeah, things
and now with this Aegis, you can either put... I think Leshrac is going to be the best hero to take this by far.
Yep.
But Morphling, if he does want to take it, it's going to show you that he's going to wants to play aggressive and quickly now. But I don't think you want to do that on Knight right now. I think you have a lot more items you need to farm up until you're ready for that. And I'm very curious to see what Knight does as far as his item build. The traditional build in this situation would definitely be just going for a Butterfly into like a Datus, Satanic, play for that level 20 talent of waveform attacks, and you can actually just wave through the illusions and kill them, as well as be able to evade a lot of attacks with that Butterfly from the illusions. But the Aghanims, it's an interesting thought. If you can just like make a Nog of your own, that could be useful. I haven't seen it in action too much, but it's definitely different.
And you don't have to buy the axe necessarily. If you're in this of a commanding position in the game, just kill enough Roshans and eventually you'll get an Aghanim's Blessing. And then you might just pick it up for yourself if you want to. But we'll see. We'll see how that's
you
going to
can just make a Nog right on top
smoke.
of this hero. That's how it works.
I have no idea. I have not.
Yeah.
I think that's
So
how it works, I guess.
Yeah.
Your guess
So
is
you can
as
just
good as mine
make
here.
No, I'm pretty sure how it works is you can just literally make a Naga that has all of Naga's basic abilities. So it's Mirror Image, it has Net, on top of being able to use your own hero on top of it. But if you press the button again, then you just teleport to that illusion and destroy it.
Yeah.
So,
that should be the way that it works, at least. If I read that correct, because I've yet to see it. But at least with that smoke, they made themselves a bit of a move towards the bottom lane. Illich is going to be able to take that tier 1 tower out of the way. And the rest of ACAT just kind of spreading all around the map. However, Leo style has been scouted out. I believe they just had enough vision with the Watcher. Plays down.
Is it Illich or Ilich?
Ilich, yeah.
Ilich. Illich or Ilich? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like...
It's probably
you have the, and then you have the, like, you know, Illich from the good old Cheshire Cheshire Cat.
Cheshire Cat. Oh yeah.
Leo style. Oh, they found the target that they
Blink
wanted to
Dagger.
pick up in the first place. And look at that burst damage. We kind of talked about it, that who bursts heroes first. Well, that's not
That's a
a lot
double
that they
blink.
need to do.
Normally you see the line blinking and stun heroes like the Lina, but Lesh just bought a Blink Dagger because he's having such a good game. He's got Aegis is like, I'm going to blink and initiate, and you can't really react to this if you're a Lina, right? You don't have a get out of jail free card. Like maybe you can if you get to your own blink, or if you have a BKB, that won't help you versus Lion, but it might be able to help you against the Leshrac. You got multiple threats here, and yet again, I have to go back to Leo style and his hero choice for the game. It's just not working out. He needs to be able to win these lanes if he wants to do this. He needs to be able to counter something, and I'm not sure what he's countering this game. He wants to counter the Morph.
They're looking to defend this top lane, potentially, but they're just not continuing with the push here with the Morphling and the Lycan. Made big rotations towards the tier 2, only to find that nobody's going to be around the area anymore. There is no smoke either, so they're not going to go on the aggressive. Just playing defensive for now with that net worth lead. Even if this Naga slowly escaping the rest of the pack, you've got a lot of farmers on the side of Thunder Awaken, and Leo's not going to be caught again with that jump from Leshrac and Sladems. Just an extra stun from Lion. It wasn't even needed. It was already dead by the moment this Lesh found him.
Yeah, he's having a rough one, so at this point, it's kind of like all eyes on the Naga Siren. Can you do this? I don't know. He is very farmed. He does have Heart of Trost on the way to Butterfly. And he's going to need more than just farm to win this game. He's going to need
it's a bit of
a team.
Pep talk to his team. Well, I need one more item, guys. Just one more item, right?
That one more item will not help. No matter how many items he farms here, they're going to need a combination of spells. They're going to need that Vacuum into an Avalanche, into Lina dishing out some damage. And they're going to need to kill some key targets here. Maybe that can happen in 54 seconds left on the Aegis. Probably will not be used, but I would say it's already paid for itself. The amount of kills they kill. 2 kills on Lina now with this Aegis. It's pretty big for Sladems here, as he's going to continue to farm up items, going for that Kaya and Sanj next. And they're going to take a Tormentor, and they're praying that they get it online. He has it queued up, but, he is blessed. He just gets the shard for free. He knows he needed this
even
game.
Better.
But now he gets a shard plus another mobility item. Maybe that turns into a Force Staff now for him, or a Glimmer Cape that might keep him alive.
Yeah, he even had his shard lined up in his quick buy, but he's not going to need it. And now, let's see what they can do here. The first aggressive move.
5-man smoke.
From AcatSuki. Heading onto the high ground position, and Lion's going to be in front. Oh, he just blinked in.
Him.
Does get the stun on 2. He's going to get followed up by Leo style and deleted.
That was a good target, but can you get more?
Looks like that's just
like
the only one.
Yeah.
We'll spread it out.
Thunder will just disengage, be like, well, I'm dead. Wait for me. That was a 5-man smoke just to kill that Phosphor Lion. Not a bad result, but definitely not exactly what you're looking for. As Morph just picks up a greater Lotus there. I imagine he'll hand that over to Leshrac, but he can keep it himself if he wants to. Either way, great item to have.
Guessing the amount of heal and mana that you get from the magic wand, might as well just swap the wand out. Use the regular healing Lotus. And
I mean, it's definitely more value.
Doing that? Oh, he's just getting another ultimate orb. Okay. Yep, Scotty's almost ready.
Yeah, you want as many stats as you can on this Morph, so... I mean, Scotty will be there, then he can decide to do it. I think Lesh is a really good choice, too, because he has, like, an empty bottle, too. Either way, both these heroes are great with it. Nice to have. And you don't have a lot of chain stun, right, if you're on the side of ACAT. Tiny stun is great, Lina stun's great, but that's your burst. I have a feeling Morph won't die in those 2 spells.
Yeah, not anymore, at least.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And still holding on to a 7k lead on the side of Thunder Awaken. AcatSuki haven't been able to do much this game. Just one rotation, that's about it.
Illic now has an AC on top of all the items he already had.
That's a
more and more destruction. Yeah,
and that's your Scotty, AC. They're both finished now, so they're looking for kills here.
Kaya Sanj online for Sladems too.
Morphling showing himself in the lane, but I feel like the way he was moving in from that creep wave, AcatSuki's like, guys, they're coming. Get out of the triangle right now. They're going all the way to the fountain as well. Devil's like, yep, I need more mana here on this Darkseer. But this Morphling is just going to take down these towers, and with the help of the Diabolic Edict, that tier 2 tower doesn't take too long to finish it off. They will get the glyph to pop. But they can easily just finish it off with that Black Dragon.
Quite easily there, and they will pass over that Greater Healing Lotus to the Leshrac. Probably the best choice here to give it to him. That way he can continue to use his Blink aggressively. And we've seen Sladum so far on this Leshrac. This early Blink pickup right after the Bloodstone, it's been doing some work here, and most likely will continue to do work. But if we're talking about one hero on the map who hasn't really been able to do much but hit creeps, it's the Naga. But the one thing this Naga has done pretty well is keep up the farm. Already up to that Butterfly, has a Heart of Trosk. This hero is incredibly tanky.
Kiri, you're going to get jumped on here as he popped this Avalanche already in the lane. He's got no saving ability here. Leshrac going to get hit by the Mystic Flare, but he's not taking any damage. MJZ, beautiful overgrowth onto the back line as well. Naga going to get stunned up too, and Devil dropping low. Even the Laguna Blade, but it's not doing anything. It's not doing anything. They don't have that firepower. So Katara has to pop the song, and he's going to make sure everybody's able to teleport away. He doesn't actually have his own TP available.
Well,
and they can just blink on top of him. There's the slow, the stun coming in as well, and he will just bait. He will pump fake that stun on the Lesh, force out the Manta, and still get the stun to connect on the Naga after. And yeah, all that farm just to die. You got everybody else out of there, though.
But what can you do? Like, I can't blame him whatsoever there. It's like he went with his hero, he tried to do things, but this Lesh is just too farmed. He kills all your illusions, and Lion, he didn't even want to use his life or mana drain very early on in that fight. It only gets worse for him. As long as this Leshrac and this Lion are alive in the fights, I'm going to say it's impossible for Kataro to enter these fights. But who's going to stop him from entering the fights on these other heroes?
Yeah, Yuri being hunted here. Another pick off. That's a 30-second death for this Tiny. Does have buyback, but not in the need to buy back right away, as there's nobody around. But Roche number 2.
And this looks like a repeat from that upper bracket game against VKS.
It does feel like it.
Yeah, I mean, Kiri's just trying to cut waves frantically, right? You feel like you can never fight. It's definitely a repeat. I know I did say yesterday that I don't want you to overreact. If you are ACAT and what got you here, you can continue to do. But unfortunately, against these two teams here, it's being exploited. And it's being exploited really hard.
Some deja vus coming in from that upper bracket series indeed, as AcatSuki. Game 1, they had 1 or 2 openings early on, but that pretty much waned down pretty much just a couple minutes after. And Game 2, they stood no chance. No chance whatsoever. This Game 1 already taken by storm here by Thunder Awaken. It's not an unlosable game, but you got to make some heavy mistakes on the side of Thunder Awaken to kind of finish the game off with how you started it off. This first 26 minutes that we've seen has just been a Thunder Awaken show.
It definitely has been. And it just kind of goes to show, we've seen time and time again Nagas with #1 net worth, right? Just kind of, I think you called it dead worth.
Dead worth, yeah.
It's definitely in the wrong game. It is dead worth. And this is definitely a dead worth Naga game. It's not one of those games where the illusions are just going to carry them to victory, where they can just rally behind this hero and it'll just walk down lanes and get you the win. And they have all their net worth on this hero. So who's going to step up? I think maybe Frank needs a Blink Dagger, hit some 5-man Avalanche combination with this Vacuum, with the wall helping in their side here. But look at this Morph. He's got a shield here.
Yeah, look how much shield he actually has compared to his max HP.
Yeah, I mean, you morph all your strength, right? And you pick it up.
Yep.
It's a good old trick.
And this guy is invulnerable right now. Kiri gonna go for the blink toss, and he's got the Lycan. Lycan's a good target, but the shapeshift does go off, and they got the burst, and he's taken out. That's a good start, even though they do lose the top lane of Brax. Trading 1 for 1.
It's kind of like, yeah, we lost our Lycan, but we can just casually walk out anyway. The chase isn't really there.
Naga in for a bit of vengeance here, but nobody to be found.
little bit of
like that.
freebie from the Lycan. Lycan, like, you have to wonder what's he doing there, right? His team, the Shielder and Morph is just hitting the buildings. Lycan's in the mid lane. Did he get tossed? Is that what happened?
Yeah. The Tiny basically just jumped in, tossed the Lycan. I mean, honestly,
gotcha.
the Lycan was maybe a bit too close to the front.
Yeah, for sure.
To be completely honest, like sometimes when we talk about like the high ground sieges from the side lanes, you have different variances of where you want to position yourselves compared to the ones who are sieging high ground. And you normally want to use the further away distance. Like if you're pushing top, you want to position yourself like behind and on the top half and not somewhere below unless you're expecting a side gank coming in where the Lycan would actually be in a good position. But that just set them up for a tiny toss, tossed them into the base.
He just thought he was a little too strong, and I don't blame him in this game. I think if you are Thunder, deep inside you realize this game, you can get away with a lot of different things, right? But I think that was a bit of a reality check. That maybe you can't get away with that much because Tiny, Pudge, Magnus, these type of heroes, repositioning heroes, they can always punish you in a heartbeat here. Stay behind your Lesh, or not only your Lesh, but your Morph. Sorry, he's got a DD now. No more...
Long range stun. Does connect onto the Dark Seer. Sledems is thinking about it, but that surge will be popped. Qhali tried to go for the toss, but it's going to miss. It's going to miss, and he's going to die for it. Meanwhile, Knight
regrets
continuing to push. That tier 3 tower going to be low on HP. Still has the HS for another 1.5 minutes. He's going to try to shift around between Agi and Strength here. Doesn't want to get bursted right away. He's still got plenty of damage. Now it's time for the reset.
Yeah, 1 minute on the Aegis.
I love the way
Morphs all the way down.
Yeah, he just every single item into the backpack as he's shifting down and then put them back as he's already going to be in safe waters. Efficiency, but the smoke's coming out. Naga going to find the Morphling. Morphling going for the Silver Edge right away. Kataro doesn't realize that. It's coming in for the Blink. Qhali found two with the Avalanche. They're going to get the toss out as well. But look at the back line. They've got the South Leo style and Prada. They are, however, interrupted by the song from Kataro.
They can chase Kataro now. He's
now again, could this be the Naga's life forfeit here? The Hex coming out from Knight. They're coming up for the rescue. 4-man Avalanche, the safety toss as they will lose Qhali. And he died back. He died back for that. A Devil's gonna be the next one targeted. Overgrowth coming out. Vacuum doesn't do anything at this point of the game. Maybe even without that wall. Knight will miss out the stun. The Laguna Blade, maybe Leo Stahl will find 1 kill. And Thunder, they're actually gonna respect that enough.
Yeah, no mana on Morph, plus Aegis going out in 7 seconds here. It's the right call to make. And Knight, with missing that stun, kind of gives his life away there. As Darkseer and Tiny both gave their life away to keep Kataro alive, but it's still the same thing. Kataro, all he can really do in these fights is just retreat. There's no real advancing here. The state of the game hasn't changed too much for Thunder. It really just comes down to, at this point, how safe do you want to play it? And I wouldn't be too surprised to just wait for the next Roshan. There's no reason not to. This is your TI life on the line. So you want to get this win. Of course, this is a best of 3, and this is only game 1, so I don't mean this is like this game will determine that. However, you want to be up 1-0.
Yeah, you want to get an indicator at least out there, because it is a mental game, something that we don't always see, but we can definitely feel that the pressure is going to start mounting up at some point. If you lose game 1 and game 2 doesn't start your way, that's when you really start to make either mistakes or you start to make those glory plays that hopefully work out. But Thunder Awaken, you know, they're not doing anything risky here. There's no over-aggression whatsoever. Systematic, calm. My friend would call this, I'm trying to look for the direct translation to what he used to say, disciplined Chinese Dota. And this is not maybe today's Chinese Dota, but at least back in the day it was always so super disciplined. They had the system, how it worked. They took their time, and they would make sure that they get the win in the end. They didn't make any necessary mistakes. That's what Thunder Awaken's executing right now.
I think nowadays we just call that methodical gameplay.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, it's changed throughout the course of time. Probably because, you know, China hasn't really gotten that many TI wins lately.
I mean, a lot of new young players have entered the scene, and I think the way Dota has been changing overall has been a lot more chaotic. And you got to get with the times if you want to
embrace the chaos.
You do.
Kataro scouting out in the front. That creep wave will spot him.
That's the real Naga, by the way. Oh, he just leveled up, so they saw that. Okay. No initiation.
We're thinking about it, but they're also thinking, is this a bait?
It was, yes, but if you can get Leo style in the backline on, I think Morph and Lycan are like, I'm going after Sky and Leo. If they get neutralized, this Naga doesn't have the damage to kill anyone, right? Not early on. Not with this Lion sitting in the back, waiting with that mana drain to kill those illusions. But they're just going to respect it. And we do have a possible Roche spawn in 20 seconds here.
All right. It's going to be a quick response from either team to start moving towards, by the looks of it, the top half of the map. And
another shield rune here. Do you want to let Morph?
Save it for the Morph.
We can watch him do it here. Here comes the strength.
Yep. Buff him up as much as possible, and it's going to be like, this is going to be a disgusting shield, by the way.
6,000 HP
That's
shield.
That's a 3k shield. Oh my god.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just something. Like, Knight doesn't have to worry about anything in the world right now. They've already popped the song, suspecting they could blow up the Lesh. Can Lesh dodge this one? He has Blink. Oh, he's going to get hit by the Avalanche, but the Hex is going to be there. And here comes the Morphling to the backline. Look how much they're trying to work on this Morphling. All for nothing. It's all for absolutely nothing as this Naga is surrounded. And that will be another one going their way. Yeah, might as well just call it. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do right now.
Yep, you totally bought out on your Naga there. That shield rune absorbed every ounce of damage that you had from this Lina here.
And
Lina
it's still
will go down.
They didn't even go through the shield. He still had 174 after that fight. And as the GG came out, Thunder Awaken expected, by the looks of it, to take this game number 1 from start to finish.